like 9 o'clock or maybe sometimes even up to 11. I don't know what's going on, but like the internet just goes to crap.
I remember, where was it? I don't know. It's I guess at my last house in Nashville, whenever we wanted to like watch a movie or something on a Friday night, it just would never work. It's like we could watch any weekday, any weeknight at all except Friday night because everybody was trying to, stream movies or whatever.
Yeah.
It was like, forget it. It's just not possible. So yeah, it's probably something to do with your neighborhood.
Yeah, and it's like all the wires in this neighborhood are old as dirt.
Yeah.
And nobody's allowed to dig up over here to like install new cable and stuff, so like I would love fiber to come through here. It's not going to happen.
That would be nice.
It's not going to happen anytime soon. Especially because, this neighborhood specifically is basically allowed to stay crappy because we're right next to the high school. Like, there is one house directly in that direction, and then across the street is the football field for the high school. Like, that's how close I am to the high school I went to growing up. And that's why, there's provisions and ordinance where, they really just... unless there's a gas main explosion, which they're currently fixing down on the street end, the access road, they're just not really allowed to.
Explosion?
Yeah, there was a gas main explosion that happened all over town. It was underground. The explosion. It didn't actually hurt anybody. Nobody was damaged, but it fucked up the whole system, and they've been digging up around the entire town.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And, but, other than that, it's they're not allowed to dig over here without getting the permission of, all the residents.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just I don't know, man. Hang that cord from the fucking telephone wire. I don't care. No, that'd be bad. If you could encase the fiber in, a really thick black rubber tube, that would still stop the light from bouncing around so much, if you put it underground. It wouldn't be the worst thing to do. It just means that wind could take it out like it could the power cables.
Yeah. I have this one...
be better than the situation I'm in now.
Yeah. I have this one power line over here that's always, sparking. Whenever I go outside at night, it's I hear this buzzing. I'm like, what is that? And it's that it's a light. It's actually a light over there. A street light. But it's buzzing and sparks showering down. I'm like, what the hell's going on over there?
That is an old, not properly aligned copper fixture. That's what that is. That's why it's barking. I've been in those circumstances before. You need to call Jim Henson over there to get that fixed right away.
Jim Henson?
The electric company.
Oh. Yeah, I probably should. I really actually probably should. It's not going to set anything on fire. There's nothing. Although I think maybe the reason why it's doing it is because there's a tree touching it.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably what has it off alignment, because usually what happens with that is when it's pushing it inward. Yeah. Man, that's one property I'm glad they haven't tried to ruin, because it kind of died off early enough. The electric company. Could you imagine if Disney was trying to resurrect that to fuck that shit up? or I think that Disney would. Does Disney own that? I don't know. I don't know if that's on the Muppets. That might be public access. HBO might own that. I don't know if that's more tied to Sesame Street or whatever, because that's just Jim Henson Company.
That was the one that had the Spider-Man thing, right?
Yeah.
Where he'd shoot the web and it would be like rope.
Yeah.
Like a rope net. I remember that show. Shoot, there was something else. Oh, did you want to mention the clarification that Nintendo made on
Yeah, we can do
Animal
that.
Crossing Happy Home Paradise?
Because you had asked, and this actually kind of falls in line with what I thought the assumptions were anyway. Like, my assumptions were pretty good on this. And I made the assumption based on my own experience with DLC in Animal Crossing already. Because there is one thing that's technically already DLC in Animal Crossing. Do you know what it is?
No.
Okay, so when New Horizons was first coming out, there was a crossover thing with Pocket Camp, right? And if you had both of them and you registered, Pocket Camp would give you a code that you would go put into the eShop, and it would give you DLC that would give you access to Pocket Camp like amenities and stuff like that. Like you could get vending machines from the campsite. You could get like the camp sign, the a break shift game machine, the pull for the place, all that stuff. I think so. I don't know. Maybe. You have to have Pocket Camp currently installed to do it in the first place.
I'm like ridiculous. Like I've got ridiculous. Last time I looked at Pocket Camp, I think I'm like level 130 or some shit like that. And I've pretty much upgraded everything and gotten everything.
Yeah,
so
but
I probably should do that.
I was offline playing Animal Crossing once. Where I could not buy that stuff from the ABD because it couldn't verify that I owned the DLC because I was offline, right? But it's not, none of my stuff that I had already bought went away. It was still sitting there. So like my brake machine in my house was there, the camp sign was still there and everything. And as also as far as I know, because Travis doesn't have it, and that happened back when I was playing on the same system with him. All that stuff is still there sitting in the town that I left there.
Yeah.
Right. So this is what built my assumption, and Nintendo confirmed it. So if you get Happy Home Paradise through the expansion pass, and then your expansion pass lapse because you don't actually own the DLC, you were renting it, you will lose access to the archipelago itself that the game takes place on. You won't be able to go and do jobs and actually do any of the DLC stuff, but you will keep anything that came back with you from that DLC. So if you brought back items to your town, those will stay. And if you brought back skills to your town that you learned doing that, like the wall partitions, the countertop ability, the soundscapes, all of that stuff will stay with you. Polishing, yeah. So anything you've earned will stay. You just can't go back and play it. So you won't have access to where all that stuff came from.
So the archipelago isn't really like... There's nothing there that you would care about losing, right?
Not for the most part. There's a shop that has its own currency, so you can get items to bring back with you. But aside from that, it's just like there's
just
cool
tasks to do over there.
Yeah, but there's also going to be like I was saying before, and I was going to post some pictures, but I forgot to. There are buildings there that are part of the main area that you could show off to people and stuff. Like, oh shoot, I think we died again. Bah. The worst part is it came like right at the end of the show. Yeah. But yeah, so there's like these like a school and or things that you make. It'd be cool to show off these things to people because after you make them and you go back in there, they're populated. So you see like villagers and stuff walking around doing everything. But that's it. Aside from stuff you could buy, there's nothing important. It's not like it's the town that you show people when they like come over or anything like that.
Yeah. So that's good.
Yeah. Aside from the digital showcase, I think it is widely just a single player thing, which is I'm glad because I was complaining that the game was so catered around multiplayer that there really wasn't that classic single player Animal Crossing experience. And not only were they adding all of that back into the game, they're also giving you a full DLC that is catered around the single-player experience. So there's not really much I can complain about at all in the game now, other than the fact that it took them so damn long to do it. Not the DLC.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining about that. That's actually an appropriate amount of time to develop something like that. It's the rest of the shit that I'm complaining about.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame that they didn't release it in bits and pieces. Like, I can understand why it took them so long, but because there's so much in this update. But they, probably would have been happier if they had done like 5 updates over the last year.
Yeah, like the only thing that I think is a big enough game changer that it and probably took long enough for them to figure out how to do it, that they're adding is probably the cooking farming combination there.
Yeah.
Especially because it's new to the series altogether. That I understand taking so long, but a lot of this other stuff is like could have totally just been bits and pieces over time.
Yeah. Like the roost.
Yeah. Or Harv's Island. I understand that one also taking a bit, but that probably also could have been released earlier, like before the summer of this year or something like that. I don't know. I don't know if some of this stuff was supposed to come out earlier, maybe it got pushed back because of the COVID stuff. Like, I'm trying to consider that too, because we've talked before about how, like, especially in Japan and the issues they have with remote working and internet connectivity and stuff, that COVID's kind of hit the game industry over there a lot harder than it has over here.
Yeah, I muted myself just in time to sneeze.
But,
well, that's cool. I am looking forward to it, and like I said, I'm at least at the beginning. I'm gonna do well. I guess probably for a year. I'm gonna do the whatever it's called, the Switch Online expansion thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll be excited to finally learn how to decorate.
I'm just, like I said before, I'm just gonna buy the DLC. I'd rather it just be on my account permanently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, apparently the goddamn N64 controller for the N64 games is sold out.
Oh, not surprised.
And
I think the Sega one is too.
Yeah, I bet.
Even though
you can still
we didn't even get
play
the best Sega controller, the Japanese did.
Did they get the 6-button controller?
Yeah, they got the 6-button controller.
Yeah. Well, apparently, from what I read, and I don't know if this is just a guessing, but it was, of course, bought by scalpers or whatever.
Yeah.
As they're seeing. And speaking of scalpers, I still want to buy the special edition of Metroid Dread, and of course, it's like, I got a notification. Oh, it's available on Amazon for like $180. Like,
no, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Just wait. Just wait. 8-Bit Dough is probably going to come out with their own N64 and Sega Genesis controller anyway, and it's probably going to function a lot better than the official Nintendo one. Like, I know it's
cool.
And
it'll work with the Switch?
Yeah, I mean, 8-Bit Dough controllers work with the Switch. The Switch works with, like, Bluetooth controllers and stuff, so... Yeah. I think the one you have should be able to.
This works with the Switch?
I think it should. I don't know.
Oh,
you might have to double check. I don't know when they started doing this, but I know a lot of their newer ones do.
I should try that. I mean, I bought this year.
Yeah. You should check. But it'll probably work better anyway. Like, dude, this right here that I'm showing you. This is not an official Nintendo controller. This is Power A. This is a Bluetooth controller. The Switch picks it up.
Oh, cool.
Now, you might have to go to their website at 8-Bit Dough, and you might have to look up the instructions for how to connect it to a Switch. I think you can, you could tell it to sync. There's probably, like, a sync button or something on there that you hold at the same time or whatever. And that'll probably tell it to pick it up, but it'll work. Yeah.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah,
hey, I mean, I got it connected to my phone, so it should work.
Yeah. Like honestly, you should be able to use your 8BitDo controller to play any game on the Switch. Realistically speaking, like you should never have to worry about Joy-Con problems when you've got a controller like that.
Really.
Yeah.
This could be my pro controller. I don't know why I never thought to try it.
I don't know.
It never occurred to me. Alrighty then.
Yeah.
I will try it.
And I'm just also to tell everybody out there, don't worry. Again, companies like 8BitDo, and they're not the only one, other ones will too, will probably make a pro controller like a 64 or a Genesis controller that will probably function better than the official Nintendo one. And like I said, I know it's cool to collect official Nintendo products, but you're playing a game. Come on. I mean, be an adult. Care about the function. Like, especially for 64 games, I get it. The controllers have a weird shape, and all the games are designed around the buttons being in the weird shape of the controller. I've tried playing some 64 games with like a C stick instead of the C buttons and stuff. It's very confusing and doesn't work as well. So, but people will give you alternatives. There's already like Bluetooth or even USB 64 controllers on the market. There are alternatives. Just get those. There we go. Connected. I just wanted to end the show. Why you do this to me, internet?
All right, do it fast.
Yeah. Okay, so if you enjoy the show, please share it with somebody else you might like. And if you really enjoy the show, consider giving a donation to streamlabs.com/vomitorium live. It really helps us out by aiding in paying for the hosting fees. And in the meantime, we'll see you guys in the next episode. We should be playing the RPG tomorrow. If you guys want to catch that live at 2 p.m. Central.
Cool.
It should be hopefully the last session that we'll be playing, probably for the year, because we're going on break after that, which I definitely need when it comes to this. Unless somebody else wants to host a game, we could do that. I just won't be DMing for the rest of the year after we're done with this little section.
Yeah.
Sounds
good.
Take care.
Bye.